Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a special bonus reading for the sign of Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Capricorn, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, the information regarding that can be found in my Buy Me a Coffee link, my official Instagram and official TikTok, all found in the About section of my YouTube page. And I thank you so much in advance. Capricorn, I hope that you're doing well. These readings are all about what your ancestors would like to say to you. And it doesn't have to be earthly ancestors. It could be starseed family or Atlantean family, something regarding your lineage. And it's inspired by this crystal that I have here. This is mookaite crystal. It's very dense crystal. It's really beautiful. It's very kind of earthy, muted tones. And it's for grounding, but it's also for family lineage healing. Family lineage healing. And I have a lot of crystals in my room. And I choose intuitively which ones I'm going to put on my desk for all the readings. And this one really, really called out to me. So I think your ancestors have a lot to tell you. So I'm going to be using 3 decks for your reading today. The first one, the Shaman's Dream Oracle for the overall energy. The Radiant Wilds Tarot for the tarot portion of the reading. And the Wisdom of the Oracle to get a final card of advice from Spirit. Cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Thank you. Number 32, which reduces to a 5, corresponding to the Hierophant card in the major arcana of the tarot. The Hierophant card is representative of Taurus energy and talks about earthly connections and conduits to the divine. It can also talk about structure, rules, and regulation. Number 32, Jeweled Web Connectivity. Jeweled Web Connectivity. You know, Spirit is showing me, have you ever seen, I like looking at things like this because I'm really into outer space and all that jazz. Have you ever seen an image of the universe where they mapped as many of the star clusters that we can perceive and are able to map, and it just looks like a bunch of like dots and lines and curves and shapes and everything. But if you look at a map of the universe from our perspective, it reminds me of this kind of energy where we've blown so far out that we almost can't perceive how large the universe is. Like our mind will not allow us to go as far as we want to go to be able to perceive just how profoundly large our universe is. And then on top of that, to say in kind of some like spiritual sense that it's not just the universe that we perceive. Now there are other dimensions. There are other universes within universes, outside of universes. Sometimes that line of thinking can make you feel very small and very insignificant. And Spirit really wants me to bring that to the fore, that you are anything but insignificant. It's almost as if you're completely vital to, Spirit just said, the integrity of the connection. Like all of these other ones couldn't exist without you. And you couldn't exist without them. This could be talking about your ancestral line. You know, when we think about it, let's just think about it not in terms of starseed families and all that. Let's just think about it in terms of earthly families. Like, let's say you come from one of those families where you can trace back your family history 10 generations, which is a lot. I don't know what the exact numbers are in terms of the odds. But the odds of you being born are astronomical, because number one, humanity is kind of miraculous that we live on a planet that just happens to have all the conditions for life in this infinite universe, blah blah blah. There's that. But then to think for, I don't know, 30 generations from Neanderthal man until now, your ancestors had to survive disease, the climate, disease, famine, predators, everything. All of your generations of your family line had to survive in order for you to be present today. You are literally a miracle. So in the vast network of the cosmos, you are absolutely vital. How could you not be? Very, very esoteric ideas for Capricorn today. I'm going to get 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier, past, present, future, and at the end, a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle. Okay. So 6 cards on the table. It's amazing. I pre-shuffled this card, this deck, all the decks, and you got the same 2 cards, some of the same cards that Taurus did, with the same matchup between the Sun in reverse and the Hanged One in reverse. Now Taurus got both of these cards together, but in the upright. You got them both in reverse. Major Arcana, very divinely guided. In the past energy, there was something that was not very clear to you. The Sun talks about illumination, clarity, life-giving energy. When the Sun is in reverse, it's not a bad card to have, ever. But when the Sun is in reverse, it's almost as if there's this, we're on the precipice of something, like it's so close we can taste it. We can taste the knowledge. This is just about to come towards us, but it's not quite there yet. Right, when this card is in reverse, and this card is interesting because it does remind me of the Devil card. Devil card is Capricorn energy. In this deck, there's a very large snake on the Devil card. I don't see it here, but I'm reminded of it. Right, snakes are all about shedding skins. They're sometimes constricting, they're sometimes threatening. There's a lot of fear wrapped up in the symbolism of the snake. Spirit just said snake in the grass, almost as if you can't see the snake in the grass. There's something about your perception here. It kind of, like, they're bringing me back to what I was talking about, like trying to conceive the profound expansiveness of the universe. Our perception almost will not allow us to comprehend it. There's something here in your past energy that was really overwhelming. Almost to the point of like madness. Like a true disbelief. An utter disbelief. Utter disbelief. Because I see this snake as like wanting to retreat. Like it looks like it's protruding out, but to me, it's almost like it's like slinking away, slinking backwards. It wants to go back into the grass. It wants to be hidden, but the sun wants to illuminate. The sun always wants to illuminate. There's something here that caused you utter disbelief. It's like, I can't unsee it. That's what Spirit's saying. That you're saying. I can't unsee it. I've seen it, now I can't unsee it. Can I get a clarifier? What is this about? So interesting, too. I feel like this is the only card in this deck that doesn't take place on the earth, if that makes sense. Like all of the other cards are like in a desert landscape and, or, you know, like something like a little bit more. This one is completely outside of the earth. 8 of Cups. Whatever it was that caused this utter disbelief, all you wanted to do was like run away from it. And Spirit just said, see ya, don't want to be ya. Because that was like the attitude you have. Just like, let me just get out of here. This really could have to do with your starseed family. Or this understanding that you have a starseed family. This understanding that, you know, like maybe you're from the Pleiades or whatever, the Andromeda, all those starseed families. And there's like this really intense awareness. I don't know if you've seen this in meditation or a download in your dreams, where you connected to like light codes or something like that. Like you connected to some kind of identity that is not human. And there's a part of you that's, because you have this inkling or this knowledge or this connection now, it's like you can't unhave it. You can't unsee it. Because you can't unsee it, there's this sense that's like, how can I continue on with this human experience, knowing now what I know, and yet I don't know anything at all. So I'll just give you an example of how, like, kind of weird. So, because it's a strange message that you're getting. Like, I had an Akashic Records reading. I've had several Akashic Records readings with this one person. Her name is Anne-Marie Pizarro, and she's amazing. Highly recommend. And the first time I had an Akashic Records reading, it was suggested to me by my Capricorn friend, who is probably watching this. Hello. And It's kind of a bizarre thought. Akashic records being this kind of warehouse of information in the great beyond, where all past, present, future potentials, possibilities exist, because it's all like data. It's data, it's information in the universe, and all of us can access it if we have like the key, right? If we have the ability to channel the Akashic records, we can all see what is there waiting for us. Imagine this library in the sky made just for you. We can talk about all the possibilities of all your potential futures and everything that happened in all your past lives, right? It's kind of a weird and heady experience. And when I heard some of the things that I was in past lives, I mean, part of you has to take it with a grain of salt, because it seems very, I mean, I was very open to it, and I still am, and I just accept it for what it is. But like, I lived my first incarnations as a soul, like within starseed families. What does one do with that information? I was a teacher in my first life, and I taught intergalactic symposiums. This is what I was told. I asked the question, like, who was I in my first life? That's what I was in my first life. Okay. And I was told I was a teacher. Now, to me, it makes a lot of sense. I've always been drawn to teachers. I've always been drawn to teachers. Thank you. Okay, see, it's like Spirit's just like, okay, we're getting to this place where we're accepting it though, right? So it's like an example like that. There's some kind of knowledge that you've been made privy to, but you don't know. It's just like, it's so far beyond. How does this connect me to Spirit? Right? But it does, because it's kind of like whatever it is that you've discovered about the world or about yourself will only serve to enrich your sense of identity. But there's a part of you that might just want to skedaddle out of there because it's almost too weird to comprehend. And it could feel very lonely. I see this character here, feels very isolated. And yet, you kind of like have risen above the fray. All the chaos on earth, here you are, just walking this very clear path. And yet you don't know what the end goal is. Where is that path going? So there's a lot of big questions in your recent past energy. You're still trying to discover, uncover. So in the present energy, you have the Page of Cups and the Eight of Wands, both in reverse. The Page of Cups talks about, Cups is water energy. It's like our feelings and emotions. Page of Cups can talk about these small gestures, these small offerings of the heart. You have it in reverse. Clarified by the Eight of Wands in the reverse. Things were upside down to begin with, but now it just feels like a topsy-turvy existence might make more sense. It's like you've been thrown into, it's like your whole, it's like a paradigm shift. Like your whole sense of what you thought you knew is being turned on its head. And it could cause you to be really keeping it to yourself. So I'm going to So there's a person that I know, and I don't know how to say it. He doesn't know that I know things about him. Good things, good things. He is a healer, but he's like a secret healer. He's like a healer in the closet. He has great ability, but he doesn't want people to know about it because it might cause people to judge him. So it's almost like he keeps this tremendously special piece of him tucked away, and he'll only bring it out when it's really vital, right? Because he also realizes it's a responsibility. When you're a healer, you have to be careful, right? You have to have boundaries, because you can't keep expending all your energy healing everybody else and then not fill your own cup. So I feel as though whatever information you have discovered, most likely about yourself, or how you, or your place in the world, there's some part of you that is fighting this internal battle about it. And you are very reluctant to share it with the world at this time, even with your nearest and dearest. Because it's strange. It feels strange to you. Right? Like you're not trying to have the sun shine too brightly on it. We don't want to put the spotlight on things. But you know that it's important. Yeah, see? The Fool in reverse, number 0 of the Major Arcana. Fool is all about taking the leap of faith, taking risks. You're not... See, I'm even doing this. Nope. Mouth shut. Keeping it to ourselves. There's issue with it though, and I think this is what your ancestors are trying to bring forward, because in the future potential you have 2 5s. 5 of Cups, 5 of Swords, and you started out the reading with 5s. The number 32 reduces to a 5. Transition. It's all about transition. 5 of Cups is this sense of loss. Could be a little bit of depression. Having a difficult time trying to change our perspective on the things that we can't change. The 5 of Swords is all about Five of Swords can talk about competition, but as Spirit just said, lying in wait. Lying in wait. Just holding, you're holding your position until the time is right. It's like by holding back, you feel as though you have the upper hand. This is a lot of strife energy in your future potential, and I think it's because there's a part of you that is rejecting a piece of who you are, and that's your decision. There's something that's calling out to you, and I feel as though you're rejecting it. Maybe you're just not ready. Again, your decision, but I feel it really strongly here. And I also feel like the more strongly you deny this part of yourself, the more strife you will continue, the more discomfort you will feel, because it's meant to be expressed. It's your unique signature in the universe. It's your unique light. It's your unique talent. It's your unique perspective. So I'm going to get a card of advice from the wisdom of the Oracle for Capricorn. number 18, which is the moon. Serendipity. So here's that beautiful, serendipity is just like everything in its right time. Represented by a 4-leaf clover, which obviously represents good luck and good fortune. Let's read from the book. Opportunity allied with readiness, the awareness of synchronicity, luck and good fortune appearing as signs and symbols, a magical alignment of events. You stepped into alignment with the greater good, where your dreams and the collective dream resonate in exquisite harmony. Now is the time for luck and preparation to meet and create miracles that you never could have planned all by yourself. Keep in mind that you are now a channel for providence right now, as a higher energy uses you as a force on behalf of the whole world. Your fortune becomes everyone's fortune. Everything you bring into being now will have a wondrous legacy for others in the future. Your service to the world is being supported at this time. Expect the unexpected and smile, for Spirit loves you very much. This is what I'm saying, right? Like, there's something here that is meant to come to the surface. And I feel as though there's a part of you that is really squelching it away. It's almost like you're denying your greatness. I don't know. I feel like you're denying your greatness. It's one of these things where we look at ourselves in the vast universe, and there's a part of you that thinks, how could I be a part of the divine? It's just little old me here. There's no way. And Spirit's trying to raise you up. Like, you're meant to soar. You're meant to prosper. There's a part of you that doesn't feel it right now, and that's okay. You're in your process. I think you have walked away from something that was really difficult, and you're in your process. Just remember, though, like, Spirit just said, you are favored. You are favored, Capricorn. I also want to say that the more you understand how connected you are to things, the better it will be for you. Like, take, for example, the 3 synchronicities of the 5s here, 3 5s. That's not a coincidence. Spirit understands that you're in this transition period, but in order to get beyond that transition period, part of the lesson is understanding your own divinity. And I think that's the key, that if you have to take away one thing from this, it's understanding that whatever your unique signature or gifts are, it's time now to express them, even if it scares you. That's your reading, Capricorn. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Capricorn.